By the end of this video, you'll recognize the unmistakable signs of being an old soul, understand why you may feel out of place in the world, and learn practical ways to sense how many lifetimes your soul has lived. If you've ever felt like a misfit, deeply introspective, or drawn to mysteries beyond this life, this is for you. Here's what's ahead. First, we'll reveal the hidden markers of old souls. Next, we'll explore the psychological and spiritual traits that set them apart. Then, we'll look at methods for uncovering your soul's journey. And finally, we'll synthesize these insights so you can embrace your unique path. Have you ever wondered why you feel like an outsider, even among friends or family? Why certain places, eras, or ideas seem hauntingly familiar, as if you've known them before you were born? There's a reason for that, and it goes deeper than personality or upbringing. What if the restlessness you feel isn't a flaw, but a sign of something ancient stirring within you? What if the world's noise and chaos seem hollow because you're tuned to a different frequency, one shaped by countless lifetimes of experience? Understanding your soul's age can transform loneliness into belonging, confusion into clarity, and suffering into meaning. Throughout history, philosophers, mystics, and psychologists have hinted at souls far older than their bodies. The concept of the old soul isn't just poetic, it's recognized across cultures and traditions. Today, we'll draw from ancient wisdom, modern psychology, and spiritual practices to illuminate this path. Here's our journey. First, we'll identify the core signs of an old soul, both subtle and profound. Then, we'll examine the psychological and energetic traits that make old souls unique. Next, we'll explore practical methods, like regression and intuitive practices, to estimate how many lives your soul has lived. Finally, we'll tie these threads together, offering you a new lens to see yourself and your place in the universe. Let's begin with a question that might echo in your mind. Why do I feel so different? For many old souls, this sense of otherness appears early. You might watch life unfold as if you're an observer, not a participant, detached, yet deeply moved by the world's joys and sorrows. This isn't disconnection. It's a recognition that your consciousness carries memories and wisdom beyond this lifetime. Pause and ask yourself, when did you first feel different from those around you? What moments stand out as evidence that your perspective is older, deeper, or more nuanced? Old souls are often marked by a hunger for meaning. While others chase trends or material success, you might crave depth, authenticity, and truth. The world's fast pace and surface-level interactions can feel hollow, even exhausting. This yearning for something more isn't a weakness. It's a sign your soul remembers a richer way of being. One of the most telling signs is profound introspection. Old souls don't just ask what or how, they ask why. Why are we here? What happens after we die? These aren't questions learned from books or teachers. They're questions remembered, echoing from lifetimes past. Even as children, old souls display a quiet wisdom, a sense of knowing that can't be explained by age or experience. Reflect. What questions have haunted you since childhood? Which mysteries have you never been able to shake, no matter how much you learn? Empathy is another hallmark. Old souls often sense the emotions and energies of others before a word is spoken. Walking into a crowded room, you might feel waves of joy, pain, or anxiety that aren't your own. This sensitivity can be both a gift and a burden, leading to emotional fatigue or the need for solitude. Yet, it also draws others to you. People confide in you, trust you and seek your guidance, even if they can't explain why. If you've ever felt drained by crowds or energized by quiet moments alone, you're not antisocial. You're simply attuned to subtler frequencies, needing silence to hear the voice of your soul. Spiritually, old souls are drawn to ancient teachings and timeless wisdom, while others may be fascinated by the new and novel. You might feel a strange familiarity with spiritual texts, rituals, or philosophies from long ago. Meditation, prayer, or contemplation often come naturally, as if you've practiced them for centuries. Even without formal instruction, you find your own path, guided by an inner compass that always points toward truth. Consider, are there spiritual practices or philosophies that feel like home to you, even if you've never studied them before? Energetically, old souls carry a presence that others notice. There's a calmness, a groundedness, and a quiet magnetism. People often say they feel safe or truly seen in your presence. This isn't charisma in the usual sense. It's the result of a soul that has ripened through lifetimes of experience. While younger souls seek recognition and validation, old souls are content simply being. They have nothing to prove, nothing to chase, because they remember that all things are temporary. But being an old soul isn't always easy. Many carry wounds from past incarnations, deep fears, recurring dreams, or unexplained sadness. You might fear drowning, though you've never been near the sea, or carry grief with no clear origin. These are soul scars, echoes from experiences in previous lives. They aren't weaknesses, but invitations to heal across time. Take a moment to reflect. Are there fears or emotions in your life that seem to have no logical source? What might they be pointing to beneath the surface? Some old souls carry a sense of karmic completion, a quiet urgency to understand, to forgive, to love without conditions. They often experience spiritual awakenings early in life, propelling them into decades of inner work. These souls aren't preparing for death, but for release from the cycle of reincarnation itself. Throughout history, thinkers from Plato to Jung have suggested that the self is something eternal, far older than any individual life. Mystics across cultures describe the soul as a traveler, wearing different masks across lifetimes, always seeking reunion with the divine. Recognizing yourself as an old soul isn't about superiority. In fact, it can be lonely, heavy, and filled with the grief of forgotten lives. But it's also a sacred responsibility to remember who you are and to guide others home through your quiet example. Now, let's turn to the question that draws so many. How many lives has your soul lived? While no system can offer absolute certainty, there are reliable signs and methods that can bring you closer to this truth. The first key is to examine the texture of your consciousness. Old souls often carry a density of perception, a richness in how they process joy and pain. If your reflections are layered, your grief feels older than your years. Or you move through life with a sense of déjà vu, it's likely your soul has cycled through many lifetimes. There are also energetic signs. Ancient teachings speak of samskaras, deep impressions carried within the soul that survive death and rebirth. These influence your inclinations, fears, and spiritual weight. A soul that has incarnated many times often exudes a gravitational presence. People pause around you. Strangers share their secrets. Animals are drawn to you. And children gaze into your eyes, as if recognizing something ancient. Another clue lies in your unexplained attractions. Have you ever been obsessed with a certain historical era, culture, or place? as if you lived there, or spoken words, or written in styles that felt foreign yet familiar. These are fragments of past lives reactivating, surfacing when you're relaxed, dreaming, or creating. Pause and ask yourself, what places, times, or talents have always felt like home, even if you've never encountered them in this life? Your current level of inner peace is also a marker of soul maturity. Younger souls are reactive, driven by desire, and crave approval. They resist silence and struggle with surrender. Older souls, even amid chaos, display a quiet resilience and a joy that doesn't depend on outer conditions. They value meaning over material accumulation, and their responses to life's lessons reveal the depth of their journey. For those seeking more concrete answers, practices like past life regression therapy can offer glimpses into previous incarnations. Through careful guidance, the subconscious can retrieve images, emotions, and narratives from other lives. Some uncover 1 or 2 lifetimes, others, dozens. These sessions often reveal repeating themes, abandonment, betrayal, healing, that recur until their karmic charge is released. In more advanced circles, Akashic record readings are said to access a dimension where every soul's history is stored. Skilled readers can offer insights into how many lives you've lived, what themes dominate your incarnations, and where your soul is headed. While accuracy varies, those truly attuned can confirm what your soul has always sensed but struggled to articulate. The number of lives a soul lives isn't random. It corresponds to the lessons chosen, the karma to resolve, and the sacred contracts made before each incarnation. Some souls choose many short lives, marked by challenge and rapid growth. Others live fewer, longer lives, filled with responsibility and leadership. Neither path is superior. They're simply different blueprints in the architecture of growth. You may notice recurring patterns in your life, emotional loops, relationships, or events that repeat no matter how you try to escape them. These are signatures of unresolved karma, indicators of the work your soul is here to complete. Take a moment to reflect. What patterns or themes keep reappearing in your life? What lessons might your soul be urging you to master? At this point, you may feel a mix of awe, relief, and even grief. The journey of the old soul is not easy, but it is profound. To carry the wisdom of many lifetimes is to walk with both the weight and the light of the ages. It is to feel the ache of belonging to something vast, yet to know the joy of guiding others home. Here's the final truth. Your soul's age is not a badge, but a calling. The more you remember, the more you are invited to live with compassion, courage, and authenticity. The world needs old souls, those who can hold space for others, who can see beyond the surface, and who can remind us all of the deeper story unfolding beneath our everyday lives. If you recognize yourself in these words, your task is not to retreat, but to shine. Let your presence be a quiet beacon for those still searching. And remember, every struggle, every longing, every moment of déjà vu is a thread in the tapestry of your soul's journey. If you're ready to explore even deeper, the next video will guide you through practical exercises to access your soul's memories and unlock the wisdom waiting within. For now, reflect on what you've learned and know that your journey is both ancient and just beginning. W krainie pikseli.